Welcome to the Dojo Talk Podcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. We're on episode number 53, take 2. Comcast and their devious magic cut my internet connection off. But I am back with my co-host, the Anti-Cool. So, for the second time, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. I don't even feel like repeating myself.
We're good.
Well, you know what? I got something else I can complain about. I don't have a bed anymore.
Oh.
So I've been sleeping on this air mattress for like the past month.
Oh, man, the struggle.
My shoulders hurt a lot.
This is what we go through to give you guys content every week.
This is what I go to live, man.
Oh, man. You'll make it out the struggle. Struggle's not permanent. But it sucks. It definitely sucks.
Nah, I brought it on myself.
But I guess we'll get into the show before technology decides it hates us again. So this weekend, UFC Fight Night 119 took place in Brazil. Just to throw a complaint, as I do every time, these 6-fight main cards are they're pretty vicious to sit through. And I stayed up until 1 a.m. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not a happy camper that I stayed up for that long. But
like seriously, we can't leave with a good impression of the product if you're an East Coast fan. Like, you're just not gonna be in a good mood sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, it's sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning. And the way the card ended, I was just like, I'm through with this.
You can't even have like an emotional reaction to like Lyoto Machida getting knocked out because he's just like drained.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, I was, well, I guess we'll just get into it. I was about to go into a whole spiel. But, yeah, we'll just start from the top. Main event, Derek Brunson and Lyoto Machida. Wasn't really, honestly, too big on this fight when it was announced. And I don't know. I just felt like a weird match. Probably because we haven't seen Machida in a while. And I tweeted this like right before the fight happened. I was like, I'm rooting for Machida, but if he loses, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. And then not only did he lose, he got floored pretty bad. And
you got your right hauled.
Yeah, he definitely did. And I don't know why. Like, it was 1 a.m. I was trying to find something to be happy about, and the fight starts, and like Machida looked pretty decent at first. Like he was pretty mobile. He was landing the left pretty good. He was being a bit evasive, but you always know with Brunson, it only takes one. It only takes one hit. And what was it? I think for like a quick second, I can't remember if Machida threw a punch or like they had got tied up real quick for like a brief moment, and then just in that split second, Machida just didn't really move. He didn't pull out fast enough, and he ate a left hand for his troubles. And like right after the left landed, I was just like, oh boy, like you could just tell like he was done. And then yeah, he goes down, he eats a ground and pound, and the crowd just goes silent. And yeah, I stayed up till 1 o'clock to watch. I don't know why I allowed myself to think and hope. I was like, Machida's gonna pull this off, and he got knocked out. But it is what it is. I guess.
Yeah. Like that finishing sequence is a perfect encapsulation of just like where Machida's at. Because 4 or 5 years ago, that's a knockout for Machida. Like that exact position with like Brunson coming in. Machida throws the left hand. In this case, he missed, and Brunson counters with a left hand of his own over the top. That just ices Machida. Like you said, like as soon as it landed, you knew it was over.
Man, I feel like there's not really a whole lot to like dissect about that fight. Like it kind of just is what it is. I mean, for Brunson, that's a good well, obviously another highlight reel. Also a great name to have on your record. I guess for Brunson, this is 2 KOs in a row.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Daniel Kelly was a KO.
Ah, right. He fought Kelly.
Yep. So I mean, that's a pretty good. Those are decent names. I mean, I can't remember if Kelly's ranked or not.
He was coming off the Evans win.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's those are pretty solid wins. So I gotta imagine. I mean, he's probably not gonna get a title shot, but he kind of throws himself back in that mix.
I give him a decent shot against Luke Rockhold, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think he called him out too, which was funny because
if there's one fighter in the top 6 or 7 that Brunson can beat, it's probably Rockhold.
Yeah. With that power, if he can tap Rockhold a few times, that could probably do some damage. It's kind of funny though, because in the post-fight interview, like I felt like when Cormier was in the middle of asking him the question, like, who do you want to fight? Brunson looked confused, and then he just happened to call out Cormier's teammate. But I mean, that's not a bad matchup for him. Yeah, I would say looking at the rankings now, of all the people ranked ahead of him, well, not including Silva since they fought in, well, that rematch will probably go different, but that's another story. But yeah, Rockhold would probably be not an easy win, but a win that I could see happening. And he's ranked number 2, so why not take out the number 2 guy and just leapfrog everybody else? As for Machida, though, I mean, this is what, 3 in a row? 3 losses in a row?
Something like that. Yeah,
Yep.
3.
Brunson.
Not even 3 losses. Like 3 one-sided, brutally destroyed.
Yeah, like finishes.
Manhandled. Yeah.
Yeah, just to put in perspective, Machida's last win was against CB Dalloway in 2014. That's Machida's last win. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's not looking too good, man. I mean, Machida's, at least according to Sherdog, he is 39 years old. I don't know.
He's gonna be 40 in oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Damian Maia. Never mind.
I mean, I don't like pulling the retirement card early, but I don't even know if it's pulling it early. Like, this might be right on time. Like, these last few fights have not really gone well for him. But I would say, let's say he comes back one more fight. Who do you want to see?
Vitor, because that's probably the only fight he wins.
I'm not mad at that. I can see Vitor, or I'll just throw this out there, and ranking wise, it wouldn't even make sense at all. A part of me wants to see him in Shogun fight one more time. I don't know why I want to see that that would probably be 2018, but
Shogun's one fight away from the title.
I know.
Do you want Leo Machida to go in there and somehow beat Shogun and then have to go fight Daniel Cormier?
Hey, man, I'm all for chaos and confusion.
That's not even chaos. It's just something a man to die.
I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I want to see them run it back one more time. But yeah, that fight probably that's wishful thinking on my part. But yeah, him and Vitor I wouldn't be mad at, depending on how Vitor and actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter. Even if Vitor gets starched by Uriah Hall, that's still not a bad fight for them to make. They can still throw it out there. That'll be a nice. I want to say loser goes home, but really the loser and the winner should probably both go home after that fight. But
Loser and winner goes to Bellator.
Legends division.
Well, even then, like, I don't like Machida has to fight Gegard and King Mo and Phil Davis, and I don't think he beats Ryan Bader anymore. So.
Yeah. But good win for Brunson. Another nasty KO on your highlight reel, setting yourself up probably for hopefully a pretty good fight next. And yeah, as for Machida, yeah, I don't know, man. And
remember when Brunson was like a blanket? Everybody hated him.
Right. Now he's straight flatlining people. I feel like though that's in response because I remember because I have his record pulled up now. So yeah, he had a 5-fight winning streak, and yeah, it was like around that time. Well, I feel like in the beginning of that winning streak, he wasn't like the most exciting person, and then like he just kind of. I feel like he really responded to that like criticism though. Like he just literally went on a rampage.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he's in his 8th or 9th year as a pro right now, or something like that. It's something like ridiculously short. Yeah, he's in his like 8th year as a pro. So when he first comes over to the UFC in 2012, he has been fighting for like 2 years. Of course, he's not going. Well, I don't want to say like of course, but there's still some work to be done at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not. He probably really hasn't had like a real training camp up to that point. To be honest with you, like one where he's geared towards his opponent. He's just in there learning how to do stuff.
And I mean, to his credit, like his losses are to all really like he hasn't lost any slouches. I mean, all right, albeit Anderson Silva's 40, but he's still Anderson Silva, so I'm not gonna hang you up against that. And you could argue that Brunson won that fight. Only other losses are to Robert Whitaker, Yoel Romero, Jacare, and Kendall Grove. And those were, well, the Kendall Grove and Jacare, that was back in 2012. Romero, 2014. So, like, other than that, he's won every fight. And as of recent, the fights that he does win are pretty one-sided. He's just knocking people out. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably set himself up pretty good. So, we'll see what happens with him next. Good luck to anybody who goes up against him. Keep your chin tucked. You know, all that good stuff. But yeah, for Machida, I don't know. Next fight, probably a retirement fight. And, you know, we've had a good career, man. There's no shame in hanging it up. We've delivered probably some of the most legendary KOs. You got a crane kick, so hey, man, you've you've done well. You've done good for yourself. So, co-main event. Colby Covington and Damian Maia. I'll let you take this one.
So, we'll get the result out the way real quick. Colby Covington takes a unanimous decision over Damian Maia, and what has to be one of the most like, is this the most unremarkable like breakout win of a fighter's like career ever?
Oh man, yeah, this
I can't think of a more unimpressive way to beat Damian Maia. And like, I'm not even trying to like be glib and be like, oh, like he didn't beat Maia where he was strong, or he didn't like blow Maia out the water. Like, no, like he had the exact type of fight he wanted, and still looked completely unimpressive in the process. The first round is basically Maia. I want to say he shoots for a takedown early, and it's pretty obvious that Covington is prepared. He's not getting anywhere near Covington's hips. So So what Maya proceeds to do is, we get the return to K1 Maya, like jabs and crosses and all that good stuff. And he proceeds to beat the crap out of Kobe Covington for the vast majority, like for the first 4 minutes of the fight. I don't mean like he's outstriking him. I mean he's making Kobe Covington retreat. Like at one point, he lands a series of like 6 or 7 left hands just by walking towards Covington, and as Covington like at every single post around the octagon.
Yeah, it's like Maya's not supposed to be the guy to do that to you. Like, if Maya is outboxing you, there's a problem. And no diss to Maya, his striking has gotten a lot better over the years, but yeah, like this is not the guy who should have you pedaling backward.
And believe me, I believe Maya is like a very underrated striker. Like he's not gonna freaking blow the doors off anybody, but he's very competent. He knows what he's doing. Like he has a very solid jab when he throws it. But Maya landed that left hand to the exact same spot every single time he threw it, even when he was dead tired in like the 3rd round. And that's like he lost his fight basically because he punched himself out 4 minutes into the fight.
Yeah, I scored the fight 29-28 old age. Like that's why he lost the fight. And
then you like compare it to like Darren Till. What was that, last week?
Yeah.
A week, knocking out Donald Cerrone in the 1st round, making him look like he like completely helpless in the process. Or even Kamaru Usman, who's just out here just like dominating people and like just scored like his big KO win over a guy who hasn't lost in the UFC yet, or had only lost like once.
And who is calling out Kobe every chance he gets, just throwing it out there.
Dude, he'd stomp a mud hole in Kobe.
And I mean,
like props to Kobe. I'm not trying.
Yeah, I was gonna say to be fair to Kobe, I will say even after he took that beating he did in the first, I will give him that he is one of those dudes that like it's not the prettiest thing in the world to watch, but he definitely knows how to press the action, or at least just constantly push forward, put pressure. He doesn't let you
just walk towards his opponent.
Right. Not a lot of head movement or.
And like I saw a lot of like people giving him leeway for that, but like oh, this is part of his strategy to apply pressure and like tire Maya out by forcing him to work a lot early. There are ways to do that without like
getting jabbed 80 times,
getting your face busted open by a 39-year-old man who has openly admitted he hates hitting people.
Yeah, it was a weird fight to watch. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
You don't watch that fight and think these are 2 top 10 guys. Like, and all the respect to the word of Maya, who just fought for a title after like going on this insane run, which just goes to show you like how good of a defensive grappler and wrestler Covington is. But do you have faith in Kobe Covington beating anybody at welterweight in the top 10? Who's not going to try and wrestle him?
That's the thing. Like, for the upsides that Kobe does have, like when I compare him to everybody else, like literally, if this was Maya like 2 years ago, he probably would have lost this fight.
Dude,
like anybody else in this top 10.
You're gonna tell me Mike Perry is not gonna ice Covington? Like Santiago Ponzinibbio is not gonna fucking drive his right hand through his face?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And then Kobe didn't do himself any favors in the press fight.
Yeah, no.
That's a whole nother issue. Just like
and which he called Brazil a dump and what didn't he call like everybody in Brazil animals or some
Yeah.
shit?
Not
Yeah,
only
no.
did he do that, like I saw him on Twitter, like I don't remember if that was this morning or like last night, but he's like, well, they've been cussing at me all day, so when I retaliate, now I'm the bad guy. But it's like, dude, you're a professional. Like these are, I get it. Fans can be wild sometimes, but like it's not like you were getting assaulted. Like,
Oh, he got assaulted when he was leaving though. They were
well, I
throwing
mean,
garbage at him.
yeah, at
And
that
he
point
deserved
at that point you kind of get what you're asking for. Like you,
yeah.
but like, come on, like you're supposed to be the professional athlete. Like you have a standard that you're supposed to uphold. Like they're
Is
fans,
Is
and
it
not
not
to
coming just like a week after we brought up Connor saying he'd go to the favelas
right.
and murder everybody he couldn't put to work? Like,
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're making it really hard for. And the thing is, like, it wasn't like a great fight, like aesthetically to watch, but like it's a big win for him regardless. But like it's going to get overshadowed because you're just not only is your trash talk just not really that great to begin with, even aside from what he said, but like you add on the Brazil comments and it's like, dude, you're just not. You're making it really hard for people to like you
it,
and give you any kind of props.
the fucked up part is it worked. Like, it's like there are people who are eating this shit up. Like, I'm on Reddit right now. There's like this post about like how his win over Maya was better than Tyron Woodley's.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
whatever helps you guys sleep at night. uh, and the thing is, like, even if you do think it's better, whatever, your opinion is your opinion. That's still not a pretty. It's not a pretty win, man. Like there were just some glaring holes that anybody else who's not a 40-year-old man is probably going to exploit.
a 40-year-old man who stylistically does not match up to you that well. Like, I said this before, like, Maya is basically, you can stop the takedown with Maya. You basically can win the fight pretty, I won't say easily, but like there's a simple path to victory despite how good he is at what he does. But god damn.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, what's Kobe's streak right now? I was still struggling to figure out how he was ranked number 7, but
4 or 5 in a row.
all right, so is Jonathan Muner, Max Griffin, Barberina, Dong Hyun Kim, and then Maya. So I mean, it's a solid streak. I don't know if that's number 7 in the world worthy.
Like I said, he's only there because Dong Kim has somehow managed to like keep a hold of his spot after years of fighting like once or twice a year and picking up like these unimpressive victories over like Tariq Saffiedine.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, props for the win. You did what you had to do, and I mean, for what it was worth, Maya was ranked like, was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, no, like something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, you beat a dude who was pretty far ahead of the pack. Like you said, he was on like this insane run that led him to a title shot, even though he came up short. So I mean, it's still a great win, regardless. But I don't know, man. Like it's just all the other antics surrounding it are just like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. I guess we'll see though. Usman has been calling him out pretty nonstop. I'm all down for that. I'm all for that fight. No diss to Kobe, but yeah, I think Usman probably starches him pretty badly. Like, I don't think that fight goes out of the first round. But I don't know. We'll see.
I can't think of anybody else in the top 10 that Covington. I maybe Condit because he's old and he's always had problems with wrestlers, but like I imagine any Condit fight with Covington's going to probably be a 5-rounder at this point because it'll headline like a Fox card.
Yeah.
So, and do I trust Covington with 25 minutes with Condit? So
we'll see though. we'll see. I mean, for Maya, I can't say it's really like a bad loss. I mean, at this point, honestly, I didn't expect him to go on the streak that he went. So, I mean, at this point, still a great career. I mean, you lost to a young gun. I feel like it's not it's not the best loss to have, but 40 years old, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, Colby, I don't think your road gets much easier from here. For Maya, I don't know really where does Maya go next. Like after this, I mean, you came up short in your title shot. You lose to the young gun. I feel like that probably kind of drops you back towards the middle of the pack, and he's clearly not getting any younger. So,
I mean, he lost the fight. Jacare lost the fight. Why not Jacare Maya?
oh, back at 185.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I'm not mad at that. Though I don't know, Maya can't get that takedown. That might be a nasty KO. But if those two could just get in a grappling match, that would also be awesome. I'm not mad at that. But yeah, that was a co-main event. It was a fight. I don't know what else to really say about it. It is what it was, you know. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Colby. A lot of people are calling him out. So, and apparently he's I don't know. He's got a target on his back, I feel like. So we'll see what happens with him. This next fight, this finish was pretty awesome. Pedro Munoz, Rob Font. I actually rewatched this fight this morning. I feel like Font started off like pretty good. Like the boxing was there. He had some pretty good footwork. He bloodied his nose within like, I don't know. I feel like it was like a couple of hits, and he bloodied his nose. And I don't know. It looked like to me Font was, I don't say like on his way to like dominate, but like I felt like he was just in a good spot. Like things were kind of going his way. I mean, Munoz did have the leg kicks working for him that he did land repeatedly because Font is pretty heavy on that lead foot. So that lower calf got chewed up a bit, but he still was working his jab. He was boxing really good. But yeah, that ending sequence, and I can't remember the announcer's name, but he definitely jinxed him. Not Cormier. I can't remember the other guy who announced.
Gooden.
Yeah, it's like right before the finishing sequence started, he was like, "Yeah, neither one of these guys have been knocked out or finished." And then about 5 seconds later, Munoz lands the left hand, and Font had this look on his face like, "I don't know what just hit me." And then like he goes for a takedown, leaves his neck out, and catches the one-arm guillotine. And like he tapped like immediately when it got sunk in. So yeah, that was an awesome win for Munoz. That was a really good finish.
Yeah, we're gonna start talking about Munoz as like one of the best like submission guys in MMA right now. This is his fourth time like getting that guillotine on somebody in the UFC. One of them didn't count because he tested positive in some bizarre, strange like drug testing scenario where we didn't find out he failed until like a whole year afterwards. Yeah, no, like Font looked really good up until the point where he got caught and got turned into a panic wrestler. Yeah, no, Maya, like legitimately, like Maya's guillotine is like one of the best techniques in MMA right now. I mean, Munoz's, sorry. Yeah, really not a whole lot to say other than I can't wait to see Munoz against a top 10 opponent again.
Yeah, I was gonna see. Yeah, like I feel like when he came over, like he had some good steam, and then I can't remember what fight it was where like who did he run into that gave him his first loss? Oh yeah, he came out the gate fighting a Sunset. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a late replacement for a Sunset.
Yeah, and then he had then he beat Hober. Then he had this fight was overturned. Yeah, and then they threw him with Jimmy Rivera. Which was a split decision, but yeah, actually he's been on a nice little run since the Rivera fight. Submitted Russell Doan, submitted Justin Scoggins, Yeah. Beats Damian Stasiak, who just fought last week. Yeah, and now Rob Font. So that's a solid 4-fight winning streak. So yeah, bantamweight, man. It's a deep, or like I feel like it's getting there. Like it's a deep division where like even the guys who aren't like your top 10, top 15, or even like towards that latter half of the top 15, like some savages out there, and he's definitely up there. I want to see Font fight again though. Like even though he lost, I like a lot of what I saw. I think he just kind of, I don't know, you eat an unsuspecting left hand and bad things happen. But like he looked really good up until that point. But
Yeah.
I think
Like the only fight Font hasn't looked good in that I've seen so far is like Linacre, and I like he's just not the type of guy who's going to look good against Linacre.
yeah, I mean, and it's Linacre, so
Yeah.
you know, he tends to he does that to people. Uh, but yeah, great win for Munoz. Awesome finish. You guys should definitely look at that. I don't really get to see one arm guillotines often, so really good win for him. This next fight, I actually rewatched this a few times also. Francisco Trinaldo and Jim Miller. I wasn't really sure who I was gonna pick to win this fight, so I just kind of watched it, not really rooting for anybody because I wasn't sure like how this fight was gonna go. What's Ronaldo, like 40? 39, 40? This dude is like freakishly strong. Like, I don't know, man. This guy, to be as old as he is still out there just winging it. Like, but like he still looks pretty good. Like even at 39 years old, man, he's still like just freakishly strong. You know, solid boxing. Not anything that'll really blow your mind, but I think I gave Miller the first round, kind of just based off he was on top a lot of the first round. He got a takedown. He felt like just controlled the first round a bit more. But yeah, man, Ronaldo started looking alive in the second and third. I can't remember what round. He started landing some really nasty body shots that I'm pretty sure slowed Miller down a little bit. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was just old man strength, but like Ronaldo I felt like he just kind of took over in the second and third. I mean, not to say like it wasn't a competitive fight. You know, they were trading back and forth, but it just, I don't know. It seemed like Ronaldo just, even at 39, like he had more in the tank somehow. But I say Ronaldo's 39 and Miller's only, I don't know, he's like mid-30s, but Miller's also had like 40-something fights. Dude's been in.
He also has Lyme disease.
Yeah, that too. So, yeah, Lyme disease plus 40 fights. On top of, in these 40 fights, the dude has been in some really just like brutal wars, whether he's won or lost. So, like he in fight years, he's got a lot of mileage on him. But pretty entertaining back and forth. I just think Ronaldo, yeah, like after that first round, he just kind of took over.
Yeah, Ronaldo really only has like 3 strikes that he throws like consistently. That body kick, that left straight, and the overhand, and that right hook. And I don't know, because he's able to stay within that like select skill set so much, he can fit a really solid pace. Especially for a dude his build and his age, like he's in his mid to late 30s. Yeah, he's 39. And the dude can still keep a solid ass pace. Yeah, it might be time. Speaking of guys who might need to retire, it might be time for Jim Miller to retire.
Yeah, because I think that's 3 straight drops for him also.
Yeah, like it's not like he's looked bad in all of them. Like Okay, he has, but he never looked like he didn't belong in there with these guys. But
Right.
at this, I'm sorry, at this point, it's just your health. Like he has Lyme disease. He's got 40 fights. He's only 34 years old. He's been doing this for like over a decade, 12 years now. It just like other than the paycheck, I don't know what else he gets out of this anymore.
And I mean, if you look at his record, like he's consistently fought like top guys.
Oh yeah, like
Or,
Jim Miller is legitimately has one of the toughest schedules. I don't want to say ever, because up to I want to say the time he fought Benson, his schedule was pretty lax. In overall, not like um, I think I might just be like
well, I
I just might
mean,
be misremembering.
well, if you start at so Benson was 2011, so he had Benson, Gallard, and this was back when Gallard was
Dangerous.
yeah right before this was the Gallard like prime Gallard. Diaz, Lozon, Pat Haley, Fabricio Camos, Yancy Medeiros, Cerrone, Darius, Castillo, Chiesa, Sanchez, Gomi, Lozon again. Like,
Alves dropping down to lightweight, Poirier, Anthony Pettis, Francisco Trinaldo.
yeah,
Like that's a murderer's row for a guy who never got a title shot.
right. And then, I mean, some of these he would like alternate wins and losses, or he might drop two, win one. But like, yeah, that's a brutal, that's a brutal lineup to go through. So, yeah, and like I feel like he's one of those guys that like even if he retires, like he would probably be a really good coach. A lot of people could probably use his jiu-jitsu skills, which I feel like I haven't seen in a little bit, but I feel like he's been a lot more willing to to throw lead lately. But like he's had a pretty solid career. Like he's fought all of the best people, and he's had good performances. So yeah, I don't know. It might be maybe time for him to hang it up. Ronaldo, almost 40 years old, still out here. Still out here. I mean, it's crazy. Before the Kevin Lee fight, this man was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak. Before Kevin Lee, his last loss was to Chiesa, and that was in 2014. So, I don't know, man. Old man strength is real. this guy's just out here just getting it. But yeah, solid win for him. Yeah, good performance from a 39-year-old. Can't ask for much more. But this next fight, ooh, I rewatched this like right before we started recording. Thiago Santos and Jack, is it Hermanson or Hermanson? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Swedish. Jack Swedish.
Ooh, this was Santos, like this dude just hits like really hard. Like he's one of those dudes. I mean, I think I said this before. I'm not willing to fight anybody who has a hammer tattooed on their chest. So, but like this guy, man. I mean, Jack had his footwork going, but I felt like other than the movement, man, he wasn't really. I don't know, like there wasn't a lot there. Like I don't know if he was just waiting for something, waiting for a sweet spot. I mean, I think he got off a few like leg kicks, maybe a few jabs, but like there just wasn't. Wasn't enough really going on, and I think Santos was just kind of waiting for that perfect just moment. Like he would just have these random explosions of just these viciously hard hits, and I mean even the shots that Hermanson blocked, like I know some of those punches still stung, because I think at one point Hermanson had him pressed up against the cage, and then like as soon as Santos got off the cage, he just unloaded like this nasty sequence of just punches, uppercuts, knees, and like I said, Jack blocked a few of them, but I know some of those still stung. And then that finishing sequence was just beautiful. The switch kick, which Jack blocked, but still backed him up, and then he proceeds to eat a left, then a right, then like an uppercut, then a right, then another uppercut that just drops him ground and pound. And literally like the last second before the bell was about to ring, the ref cuts it off. And it's over. And it's like, yeah, man, Santos is a scary dude. That's I see him on the schedule. That's not somebody I'm happy that I have to fight. Like that's a frightening gentleman.
Yeah. So remember that the highlight of like Vitor Belfort just coming forward and just like blitzing Vanderlei Silva with like jabs and crosses as he falls him all the way across the cage. That was basically the end of this fight.
Yep.
At one point, Santos hears like the 10-second clock, and he's just like, "Fuck it," and he just runs at Hermansson with everything he has, and then and Hermansson literally just crumbles. And with 1 second left, the referee's like, "No, you've had enough." I can't, like, there are a few instances where I think like I see that fighter has decided that the fight is over and he's just gonna end it, and then it's over. Like this is just like a prime example of that. Like, I'm not sure if Santos ever fights for the title, but dude's always gonna have a job because he can do that.
Right. Yeah, when you got that kind of like striking power, like you're never out of a fight. Like he's always gonna be there. And I don't know, yeah, like I was looking at his record, and I think he's currently ranked 15. And I feel like because like I said, I was trying to think of it before we started recording, that he had fought Uriah Hall way back when, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like you said, I don't know if he will ever like win a title, but at the same time, like I feel like if he was to get a shot at a guy in the top 5, top 7 range, like I think he could give some people at least like a run for their money. Maybe he'll come up short, but I think he could threaten a few dudes.
Like I'd love to see, like I'm gonna bring him back up again, but like I'd love to see him fight Rockhold, because we've seen Rockhold fold to the type of pressure that Hermansson folded under, and while he's way better equipped to handle it than Hermansson, and like once you get Santos on his back, I don't want to say it's easy pickings, but like it's pretty clear where you're gonna beat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Actually, I feel like him and Brunson would be a fun.
I mean, you can always run that one next. This is third win in a row.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good fight. I mean, that probably guarantee ends in somebody getting knocked out. Or that would be the fight that Brunson decides to be a blanket.
Did you know Santos fought Vicente Luque?
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at that. Yep, in 2012.
And lost.
That's crazy.
Vicente,
MMA math and...
Yeah, Vicente Luque, who won on this card, by the way.
That's wild. That's wild.
MMA is a very small world.
It is. It is a very small world. That's crazy. I wonder how you gotta feel though, like the guy who has one of the nasty KOs on the card, and you look up at the screen and like, oh yeah, I beat that guy. Like, albeit it was way back when, but like I still beat that guy. Man, but yeah, good win for Santos. That was a pretty nasty KO. Yeah, I'm looking forward to who he fights again. Like I hope he gets a top guy. Somebody, I hope he gets some kind of name next. I want to see how he can do against a top guy with that kind of power. Speaking of top guys and power, John Linacre, Marlon Vera. This is the last fight on the main card, but this is the fight that kicked off the card. I'll just say off the top, man, for Vera, for a guy he's not even ranked, right? Like, he's not even in the top 15.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
It should be Kelleher, who was coming off that win with Alcantara.
Because
Uh,
as of right now, the bantamweight rankings,
yeah,
yeah, they have.
yeah, you're right. Nah, Johnny Eduardo's there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he is
weird.
there. Well, at least as of this recording, Vera is not currently ranked in the bantamweight rankings. So I'd imagine if I was to place a if I was to place a ranking, he's probably at like 16 or 17. Meanwhile, John Lineker is at 5. And albeit Lineker won this fight, like the fact that even Vera even made this fight remotely competitive against a top 5 guy, I think speaks to his talent and like potential. And he ate some shots in this fight, man. Like Lineker is definitely a headhunter, but he's also like a body hunter too, though. Like he'll throw like 1, 2 to your head to try to kill you, and then he'll finish with a third shot to like try to cave in your entire midsection. And like he was landing some really just brutal explosive shots, but like Vera was eating them. Like I can't remember. I don't think he ever really like got stunned or even rocked. Like he ate the shots really good, and he was returning fire a lot. Probably really smart to use considering he had pretty like lengthy advantage over Linacre, who was a pretty small and compact guy, and Vera's like a bit longer. He was working the kicks pretty well, trying to keep like Linacre at bay, and I mean like at times it worked, but Linacre just has just these random moments of explosions that like there's nothing you can do, and I mean I don't know if Vera won the third, but that was probably one of his better rounds. Where I'm pretty sure
I think he definitely won.
You think he
that
won?
third. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure his coaches had to tell him like, dude, you definitely dropped the first two. Like you gotta go for it. And you could tell like in the third, like there was urgency there. Like he was trying to do something, which like I like to see that in a fighter when they know that they're losing. So he didn't really like go for broke. He didn't just get in like some all out war. Like he was still being smart with what he was doing, but you could tell like he was definitely pushing the pace more. But that dude's just a savage. Like he hits just incredibly hard for no reason. Really good body shots. Just yeah, man. He kept the pressure going. He dropped the third, but he did more than enough in the first 2 rounds to win. But I give a lot of props to Vera though. Like you get thrown in with a top 5 guy, you're not even ranked. You steal around from him, and you make the fight competitive. So like I have to give him a lot of props for that, man. That's a good. If there's a moral victory, I feel like you got something out of that fight.
Yeah. Like in that third round, you could really tell Vera picked up a lot. Like especially he was picking up on Lineker's right hand, and just like he was getting out the way, and eventually he was countering him, which was really cool. But Linacre, this is his first fight in 10 months because he has been out with a broken jaw handed to him by current UFC bantamweight challenger TJ Dillashaw. Yeah, like I think that he broke his round. I think TJ broke his jaw in like the second round of that fight. And it kind of just shows you how fucking tough Linacre is that he made it all the way through to the end of the third. But I think we saw mentally not so much a change, but I guess we saw mentally like what that does to you because Linacre really didn't come forward in this fight. Like he was aggressive, like he was in the pocket for most of the fight, but like the typical John Lineker, like throw caution to the wind, get in your opponent's face behind, like try to jab your way into the exchange and like pound him away to the body when he commits. It wasn't really there. He was a lot more patient, especially early on. He was looking to counter. Like I specifically remember, like there was a point where I can't remember if it was a roundhouse kick or a front kick to the body or something like that. But Vera threw one out, and Linacre just like instead of like coming for, he just like threw a leg kick that threw Vera off, like threw Vera to the ground basically. And instead of like hopping on top of him and trying to like get grounded, probably let him back up. Um. So yeah, we definitely saw like a a slightly less aggressive version of Linacre. But Vera, like his stock rose so much in this fight. Like he's really just one of those dudes who kind of just thrives on like. I know this wasn't like a late replacement fight, but like he's one of those dudes who just thrives in those types of fights where he's like forced to adapt on the fly because he's learning on the job really. Like a lot of these tough guys who aren't like Yair Rodriguez, who's basically like a super freak athlete. Like they legitimately are like these are basically the first real fights. Like all the respect in the world to like Extreme Combat and WFL and like all those Mexican promotions down there, but like the level of competition is so different between even LFA and like XFL or one of the millions, like 300 Sparta, which is a Peruvian organization, but still, this is where a lot of these dudes end up fighting. Like the level of competition is so different that like these dudes basically got on tough Latin America, and then all of a sudden they were in the UFC. And I think Shelby and Joe Silva and Mick Maynard understood that, and that's why for a long time they only fought really each other coming off the show. But Vera has been one of those guys who just seems to be like picking up as the fights go on, and he's getting craftier, and that's why he's like losing 2 rounds to Brad Pickett before he eventually just knocks him out, or like he gets into a crazy exchange with like Kelleher, and he's able to submit him. So it's pretty cool to see. Like I think Vera is eventually going to wind up being like a guy who just hangs around the bottom of the top 10. Like he'll be in that 7 to 10 spot for a long time, just because he's just so tough to like. He's just a tough out. Like there's no if you're not a super elite fighter, Vera you're just not going to have an easy night with Vera.
Isn't he also like he's only like 24?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's hella young. Like, there's a dude who is getting considerably better with each fight. Like, think about it like this. A little more than a year ago, he lost to Davy Grant.
You jump from Davy Grant to John Linacre.
Yeah. Like, then he goes on to have like a terrible fight with like Nin Guangyu. Was he the guy who? I don't think he won Tough China, but like he was one of the better guys off that show. And then like he all of a sudden he beats Brad Pickett and beats Brian Keller. Like this is a guy who's growing immensely between fights, and it's gonna be crazy to see where he ends up. Because like I'm saying, he could be like a bottom top 10 guy who hangs around for a while. Like who knows? Maybe he just like 4 years from now, he's just like like built a complete game like a guy like Gegard Mousasi, and he's just all of a sudden like a title challenger.
Could be. I'm about to say yeah. I mean, between 24 and those prime years are probably around like 27 to like your early 30s. Like he's got a lot of time to round out his game and get better. And I mean, a loss to Linacre is no shame. I'm pretty sure he'll go back to the drawing board, figure out. I mean, part of it's just Linacre's just a beast, but like you'll only get better from this fight. But I kind of like what I saw from Linacre though. I attributed him because I think they mentioned that during the commentary too, that he wasn't like being the super aggressive headhunter. I just attributed it to him not probably wanting to punch himself out and just go for the kill so much. Like I just thought he was fighting a bit. I mean, he was kind of cautious, but I thought he was just kind of being smart and not gassing himself out after going for a kill. Like he would have those explosive spurts, but then he would just send it back. Like no need to go for the finish if it's not there and force something that just let it happen naturally. But yeah, man, good fight from both. Good win from Linacre. But yeah, like you said, Vera's stock definitely went up, and I'm pretty sure the next time we see him, he'll probably still be still be improving, still getting better. Yeah, that was actually pretty quick. That was the main card. Pretty dope main card all in all. Got some good finishes. I mean, aside from the Maya and Covington fight, which was just kind of weird to watch, like all the other fights were pretty solid. Some of these prelims were pretty good. I don't remember some of these, to be honest. Like some of these fights I rewatched and I still don't remember them. Did you catch everything?
Yeah, I caught. See, I fell asleep during Well, I started getting tired during Vicente Luque versus Nico Price because again I'm a grown baby. So I don't remember like portions of that fight, but all the fights before that I remember pretty well.
All right, so I guess real quick we'll go through these. So yeah, I don't remember the Vicente fight either in detail, but Vicente Luque beat Nico Price.
I do vaguely remember him looking amazing though. So there's that.
And I think this was Nico's first loss, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which if you see like Nico Price is really weird because like if you've seen him fight, like he shouldn't be a dude who knocks out like Alan Jouban or Alex Morano. Like he doesn't look like he hits that hard, but he does apparently.
Vicente gave him his first L, second round win by Brabo choke. Next fight. Oh,
just really quick, talk about guys who are making like waves. Like Luque is going to be a top 10 welterweight by the time he's done.
And as we mentioned, he beat Thiago Santos. Which is just wild to think about, but yeah, definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Antonio Carlos Jr.
Shoeface.
Huh?
Shoeface.
That's his name? That's a nickname for real?
Yes.
Shoeface. He did beat the crap out of Jack Marshman. Not gonna lie, the fight was pretty one-sided. Like all I remember is they were saying something in the commentary about like he's primarily primarily like a grappler, striking's coming along, and then like right when they said that, he like tagged Marshman, and then like I remember him landing a pretty hard leg kick, and then I can't remember how he got him on the ground. I think he swept his leg out from under him, something like that. He had got him against the cage, dragged him to the ground, and once he got him to the ground, like it was pretty much over. Like Marshman ended up turning his back, I guess, in an attempt to get back up, and he got choked out for his troubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. The fight didn't really last all that long.
Jared Gordon took a decision over Hakron Diaz. So before the fight, like Hakron Diaz is literally just Jose Aldo with like a different nose. Like
they have like the same stance, same like striking motions,
the same build. Like the same skin tone. They look like Akron Diaz just looks like a slightly more inflated Aldo.
It's like
their techniques are basically the same, except like Akron Diaz can't do like the small things Aldo can do. Like his jab is nowhere near as sharp. Like he's not as comfortable leading as Aldo is. He's not that great at pivoting. Like there's another fight. This is basically the Covington Maia fight, except better, where Gordon applies pressure and eventually just breaks Diaz, who like after like I want to like at the end of the second round, Gordon is just like inside control, raining down like fire from above with like elbows and hammer fists, and like the round gets stopped because the time goes off, and Hakron Diaz is just on the ground trying to get up, and Jose Aldo has to come in the cage and pick him up and carry him to the corner.
Oh man.
And then they sent him back out there, and he got beat up some more.
Yeah. Hey man, that is weird though how much they literally do marry each other. Like Jose Aldo would be Boo from Dragon Ball Z, and Hector Diaz is Oob, that reincarnation, the good one, quote unquote, who still wasn't as cool as Boo was. But yeah, it's really weird. Like they literally do just have the same striking motions and everything. It's weird. But yeah, Jared Gordon took that decision. This next fight, this was wild. Gonna butcher a name. Max Griffin versus Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. If I said any of that right.
I think I believe it's Elizu.
Elizeu. If there's any fight you want to watch on the prelims, this will definitely be it. This was a wild.
Yeah, one fight of the night. It was insane.
I was actually surprised this didn't get stopped in the first because, like, and when I was watching the fight, I thought it did get stopped because, like, first there was a point in the fight where they both did a flying knee at the same time, which was just crazy to watch. And they both literally collided in midair with each other. Like, I think they both dropped each other in the first round, but, like, Griffin started to get tagged later in the first, and, like, his legs just, like, if there was no cage, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been standing up. And I thought they waved the fight off, but it was actually, like, he was waving it off because the round had ended. But I didn't think he was going to be able to come back off the stool because he just looked like he was so out of it after that first round, but came back off the stool, lived to see another round, and these two dudes just went back and forth, man. Like, it was just one of those just wars, and Elizeu ended up getting the decision, but yeah, this definitely was fight of the night material. That's a well-earned fight of the night. Like, these dudes were just throwing down. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah. So it's the time of the show where I get up on my little pedestal.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, and I just I look at Camba. I can't remember how the fuck the Brazilian Athletic Commission is named after. Then I look at Mario Yamasaki, who I believe was the referee for this fight. And then I look at Max Griffin's corner, and I just kind of go, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
Because Max Griffin was out. And like at the end of the first round, because like yeah, he dropped Dos Santos early, but the beating that Dos Santos put on him for the last 2 minutes of that round were Pat Curran, Joe Warren-esque. Like, the legs went stiff, the eyes went like blurry, and again, his cornerman at the end of the first had to come in and guide him to his stool. Like, not like carrying most of his weight so that he could like make it to his stool.
I don't know, he looked like one of the Walking Dead zombies. Like, while he was trying to like stay upright.
Yeah. And in the second round he managed to come back. He won the round. He drops Dos Santos. But he's still pretty clearly out. Like, he's in full-on, I'm fighting on instinct zombie mode. Like, because you can look in his eyes and you can tell he's just not all there.
Yeah, ooh. And yeah, I mean, like, I get it. I don't know. I guess, you know, you're a cornerman, you know you're a fighter, but you got to protect these dudes, man. Like, even though he went on to continue to put on a great fight, and you know they get fight of the night, so he gets his extra $50K or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. That might have knocked a few years off of his career. Like
Seriously.
Like, the way it was like at one point where like he he got hit and stumbled back toward the cage. Like, I'm serious. Like, if there was no cage, that guy would have just fell over into the crowd. Like, it was. Yeah, I don't know. At that point, I just feel like I really thought they waved it off, and I was kind of hoping they did. I was like, there's no way this guy can come back after this. Like, you put on a great round, like, but that might be over.
Like if you're in Griffin's corner, like what are you there for if not to make sure your boy can get another can get another payday. Like 50 G's is great and all, but like that ain't gonna help with brain damage.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was a fight. It was an awesome
And like
awesome fight. But
I'm not trying to take away anything from like Max Griffin, who showed like god tier levels of just straight up toughness.
you gotta protect your guy.
But if you're your corner, like you have to be the bad guy. You gotta protect your dude. You gotta make sure he lives to see another day, and that he remembers today.
Right.
There's zero chance Max Griffin remembers this fight. Like he definitely got on like the bus back to the hotel or the van or whatever. It's just like, are we on our way to the arena?
Right. Like, yeah, man. That was. It's the weird side of the sport where like we're watching two people just beat each other to death, but like there's a line somewhere, and like I feel like that line was, yeah, like that line got crossed. Like you gotta save your guy from himself sometimes. But I don't know. I guess he went out. He got his extra 50K. So I mean, I hope he's okay. Like he definitely took a beating.
Like go take a vacation with that money, bro.
Right. go chill out for a little bit. Like you definitely had to get a medical suspension after that. Like you gotta.
Those are like jokes. Like I hate to say it, but like all you need is a doctor to say you're okay to fight. It's like the WWE wellness policy where like you just need a doctor to give you the okay, and like the WWE has like 5 or 6 doctors that are just known they hand out steroids.
Yeah, it's a rough way to make a living, man. Rough way to make it. Like that's a lot of punishment to take for an extra 50 G's. But nonetheless, great fight, great performance, well-deserved fight of the night from both dudes. Yeah, man, that was a wild fight. Definitely, if there's any fight you watch on the prelims, definitely watch that one. Just literally two dudes threw a flying knee at the same time.
Yeah.
These last two fights I can't really comment on because I did not watch either one of them.
Davison Figueredo takes a split decision over Jared Brooks. Some people had a problem with it. I didn't. Jared Brooks basically tried to out-wrestle Figueredo and did a very good job of it for the first round. Second round, guillotine attempts. I want to say there was a Kimura attempt. Like third round, he got beat up on the feet by Figueredo. Figueredo wins it basically just by having offense. Well, Brooks basically he started off with the ground and pound in the first round, but like by the second and third, it like completely evaporated. So, shouts to Figueredo. I think it's like his second win in the UFC or something like that. And flyweight needs all the new young blood with momentum that he can get. But he's going to have to work on the wrestling if he wants to be a contender. And Marcelo Gome. He destroyed Christian Colombo inside of a round, beat him up on the feet, got to his back, got in the rear naked choke, and got out of there and wrestling around. So, yeah. Just a quick note on Gome. Christian Colombo, who is 8-3, has a better record than all 5 of his previous opponents put together. Like, I mean, he has more wins than them. Like, I think they like his career opponents up to this point have been like 2-10. So this was Gome's first win over a fighter with a winning record. Yeah.
Hey, man.
And maybe like his third over a fighter with any wins.
Gome is what? He's 6-0 now.
6-0. Problem is, even the bottom of the heavyweight barrel, like you have to be pretty damn special to get out of that.
We'll see. I'm behind any heavyweight who even has a smidgen of talent. So
Shouts to Junior Betty. Or is that Beatty?
Did beat it?
The dude fighting Orlovsky.
Oh no. God. You want to make me look this up now? I don't want to look this up. Oh God. Now I really want to find this out. When is that fight?
The Australia card, whenever that is.
Junior Albini.
There we
I
go.
think it's Albini.
Yeah. Oh no, that's Norfolk. Okay.
Oh.
So
I could I could go to that card. I'm not gonna make that drive. Oh, headline by Poirier and Pettis though. That's an interesting main event.
Matt Brown retirement fight versus Diego Sanchez.
Lord, Nate Marquardt back again.
Joe Lauzon, Figueredo.
Why did that fight happen like 30 years late?
It feels like one of those fights that should have happened.
Yeah, we should have gotten this back in like 2007. When it'll probably still be an entertaining fight just because of these guys. That's just who they are. But like back in the day, like this would have been an awesome fight. Oh, John Dodson and Marlon Moraes thrown right back into the fire.
And patron saint of the Dojo Talk podcast, Sage Northcutt, makes his long-awaited return to the octagon. Dude, Sage hasn't fought in almost a year.
Hey man,
He took our advice.
We're about to see vast, legendary improvement.
Dude, that team alpha male work.
Hey man, I'm rooting for you, Sage. I'm pulling for you. Oh, Court McGee, Sean Strickland, Angela Hill, Nina. Oh, shout out to Angela Hill. Angela Hill's awesome to follow on Twitter. Just FYI.
Yeah.
It's a pretty solid card. God, Arlovsky, I hope you don't. Please do me proud. That's all I'm gonna say. Just please do me proud.
Don't get knocked out.
Yeah, that's all I ask.
Whatever.
But yeah. So that was UFC Fight Night 119. All in all, I mean, pretty solid card. But as I stress all the time, 6 fight main cards, not cool.
Start them an hour early, please, God.
Yeah, like these gotta. It's got to be a better way. Like it's just there has to be a better way. We can't. This whole staying up till 1 a.m. to watch Lyoto Machida get KO'd didn't really sit well with me. Yeah, these fights got to start earlier. Something's got to give, man. It's too much. I say that and then I watch it every time and I still stay up. But even still, like it's too much. Way too much. But it is what it is. This weekend, at least we'll get a short main card, which, hintity hint, this weekend, UFC 217, Bisping versus GSP. Real quick. We don't have to do full predictions. We'll just do, I forgot, what's the co-main? Oh yeah, co-main is, we'll do real quick predictions. Bisping GSP.
Bisping.
KO, decision.
Late KO.
Yeah, this fight, I still don't know how I feel about this. But yeah, I got Bisping. I'm gonna go Bisping TKO. I don't know, round 3. Who knows? I don't know. TKO round 3, I guess. Garbrandt and Dillashaw. Yeah, I've been flip-flopping with this fight a lot. But I guess I'm going to draw a line in the sand and I'm going to say Cody. I'm going to say Cody decision. I don't know if he knocks him out. I'm going to go Cody by decision.
I think actually when this fight was announced, because it was announced while we were recording, I think I walked through why I chose what I chose, but I picked TJ.
Sticking with it.
Yeah.
It's a pick'em fight, man.
It really is, and it's the best fight on the card. So
yeah, that's a really interesting matchup. I'm really really intrigued to see how that fight goes. And there are really a lot of good fights on this card, but that'll be another podcast. Well, it will be. Hint to the hint. If you guys are listening, the podcast for UFC 217 is going to be epic. There will be guests.
there might be.
It should be. Fingers crossed.
No. Like the guests. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Things are in the works.
Yeah.
Things are in the works. So, yeah. That's gonna be an awesome podcast. Please make sure you guys listen to that one. It's gonna be great. But
it's gonna be 6 hours long.
It might. Like, it might when we bring other people on the show. Yeah, yeah. Things tend to get long-winded, but they turn out really great, so I don't really care. So yeah, you guys might be in for like a 2-3 hour episode, but hey man, it'll all be great content. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this card. So I guess to close out, parting shots and shout outs. I just have two, one shout out and one get well wish. So I'll do shout out first. Glory 47, which I had no idea even happened, but that took place on the 28th, which was Saturday. I didn't catch the main event until today, but Cedric Doumbé, which I believe this was his return fight from dropping the title, but he came back and fought Johan Ledon, however that's pronounced. I believe this is the second time they fought. Doumbé, from what I watched, I only did watch the fight once, but looked really good. I would say he won this fight pretty handily. I'm pretty sure that this will probably get him right back to that rematch. Or I don't know, maybe even another fight with Holskin, but either way, great performance for him. So definitely give. I can't speak for the rest of the card, but that was a pretty good performance from Doumbé. And on a non-MMA note, send a get well wish. I don't know if people are familiar, but if you guys listen to any like hip hop podcast, you may have heard of Combat Jack, who pretty sure has like one of the longest running like hip hop podcasts, at least that I know of. But I can't remember if it was this weekend or last weekend, but he had came out saying that he has stage 4 colon cancer. And they actually had like a live podcast like last week, and that was the first show he ever missed, and it was because of the colon cancer. So, yeah, get well wishes to him. That's rough, man. Like that's really rough. And encourage you guys, man. Like go to the doctor, man. Like it's not a game out here. Like go to the doctor, take care of yourself to the best that you can. Make sure your health's in order. All that good stuff, but yeah, many well wishes to Combat Jack, and shout outs to Cedric Doumbé for his win at Glory. And well, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Can't think of anybody else really to shout out.
All right, I got two. Shout out to Tyrecia, yeah, Douglas, who comes from down your way. She's from Baltimore. The current box record, at least, has her ranked number 4 at super flyweight. She will be fighting some girl, some woman, this Saturday. Crystal Hoy. I say this because like Douglas is one of now that people are starting to get on TV. Douglas is one of those fighters I don't expect to be on TV, but who probably should be, as more female boxing matches get televised. Like she's fun to watch. She's hits pretty hard. Like she's one of the top American boxers out there right now, even if it's by default. But like hopefully she gets the big matches and like gets televised, and eventually get to see her on TV. And my other one's also a boxing one, though it's kind of a kickboxing one as well. Shouts to Kyotaro Fujimoto. So. Do you know who Kyotaro is?
No, not ringing any bells.
All right, so he was the K1 heavyweight champion
Oh, this is already interesting.
back in 2010 when he beat Peter Aerts for the belt. He went on to beat like Jerome Banner later that year, but he's probably most famous for MMA fans for being the guy Gegard Mousasi beat. Like when Gegard Mousasi's like big thing in kickboxing was beating Kyotaro, who at the time was still the K1 heavyweight champion. So,
What's
but this is
how you spell his name?
Kyotaro, so it's Kyotaro.
Alright, I gotta look this guy up. I feel like I should remember him, or that I've probably seen him before.
I mean, he's beaten Gokhan Saki and Melvin Mainhof too.
Oh,
Beaten.
so these guys. Oh yeah, that's those are some names to have on your resume.
Yeah, and I have no idea if those are like legit wins because I haven't seen either one of them. But like I've seen them versus Ayers and I've seen them versus Gegard. But point being, he's got a fight coming up this weekend. Let me just make sure. Yes, for the OPBF heavyweight title. I don't know if you read Hajime no Ippo, but the Oceanic Pacific Boxing Federation Championship, or Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation Championship, is that step below where you actually fight for like a world title in like that area of the world. So like I'm trying to think of like a comparison here, but like it'd probably be like the WBC International Championship or something like that. Like those weird fake alphabet belts that you get before you get real one. But the word on the street is if Kyotaro wins his fight, which I expect him to do, he's getting a fight with Joseph Parker, who is, and I want to make sure this is the right belt. He is currently the WBO World Heavyweight Champion.
It's a big step up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, how old is Kyotaro?
He is 31.
Oh, all right. I don't know. That's a leap though. That is. But I mean, I feel like it's kind of a win-win. I mean, albeit you fight for the WBO against a guy who's probably
He is probably, I want to say he's the most beatable of all the world champions right now at heavyweight, because the other two are Wilder and AJ, and like while they both have their flaws, like they both have something in their back pocket that Parker doesn't have, and that's just like straight up, I can knock your head off your shoulders power.
So he's probably in a win-win. I mean, win or lose, I want to say that'd be probably pretty good exposure. So
I mean, I don't think Japan's ever had a. Well, I know for a fact Japan's never had a world
yeah, I'm about to
champion
say
before.
I can't I can't even remember like the last. Yeah, like
No, like
I can't think of even like Japanese like boxers that even get like promoted in America like at all.
there've been a handful. Like the Kameda brothers, after they got kicked out of Japan, were promoted here for a little bit for PBC, but they all lost. In one case, to another Japanese fighter, who the PBC brought in specifically for him to lose to beat for him to beat. Who else? Naya Inoue just made his US debut back on that Superfly card where Roman Gonzalez got his like knocked the fuck out of. But yeah, there's not a whole lot. here in the U.S., especially because you could fight at home in Japan and fight in front of like 15 million people on
Right.
TV. But in terms of like just straight up like heavyweight champions, they have never had one. They're like Mexico, their only heavyweight champion is Alejandra Jimenez, the current women's WBC champion. And in fact, I think the highest they've ever gotten is middleweight. Yeah, because Ryota Murata is the current middleweight champion from Japan. And he's only the second one in their history. So, like, if by some miracle, well, not miracle, but by like some stroke of luck, Kyotaro goes out there and beats Parker, he becomes Japan's first ever heavyweight champion.
Hey, go, go for the gusto, man. Hey, man. I feel like with the way this year has gone in combat sports, somehow that wouldn't even like. Well, it would probably still be a shock, but you know,
Parker is not undefeatable. He's not insurmountable. I'm just saying. And then he could be the man who held both the K1 heavyweight championship and the WBO World Heavyweight Championship of boxing. How sick would that be?
has anybody ever? I'm pretty. Nobody's ever done that.
I don't think so. You know what? You know what's funny though? If I'm Tyrone Sprong, I'm angling for that fight as hard as I can.
How about to say it? Because Spong's out here like. I'm not even sure who Spong's been fighting, but
Journeyman, not
yeah.
even the good one that bad, but
But hey, man, I'm rooting for him. Go out there and make history.
well, yeah,
I mean,
it's
kind of crazy
heavyweight,
though.
apparently. So
It's crazy because like I feel like we've been waiting for we've been waiting for like an Asian champion like the UFC this whole time, and maybe like it'll just come in boxing. Maybe we'll.
dude, boxing has Japan itself has like 80 something world champions in their history. They're now want for like I want to say they have like 8 or 9 male champions alone right now, and like another like 10 in women's boxing. Like Japan gets it done when it comes to boxing. MMA for some reason not so much.
I'm actually
Mostly-
watching him now.
Yeah, mostly because I
Oh,
think
when was the last
just
time he fought?
Kotaro
Yeah.
in boxing or MMA? Because he fought in May in boxing.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say all the highlights this year like from really long ago.
Oh, dude, like those are his kickboxing highlights.
Oh, I was about to say like they got a highlight from like 2012. But yeah, hey man, I'm rooting for him. Go make history.
If he
That'll be
wins,
wild though if he wins that and like somehow fights Wilder.
oh god, oh my god. I mean, it's not like he hasn't fought anybody else who's got like serious knockout power. So at least it'd be something.
Right.
Like, he just goes out there and he just beats Parker, Wilder, and like AJ.
Who also fought? That was this weekend too, right?
Oh right, yeah. Anthony Joshua beat Carlos Takam in a fight that was underwhelming, I guess. Like he won clearly, but it was he got a pity stoppage basically. So, take that for what it's worth. Oh, and Katie Taylor, duh. Katie Taylor becomes the second woman ever to win both a gold medal at the Olympics and a world title as a professional. Represent.
So you're making history.
History's being made every day.
Oh, and real quick, I probably should have shouted. Not even really a shout out, just a quick mention. John Gotti's grandson. If you don't know who John Gotti is, I'm not gonna go into detail, but John Gotti III fought in I think it was CES this past weekend. He won by TKO. So just a quick note: John Gotti's grandson is an MMA fighter, and apparently he's pretty good. I actually haven't seen the fight, so I can't comment. But from what I'm hearing, he's pretty good and he's fairly shredded. So
And apparently his mob family came out to support him pretty heavily. It's nice to know that now that the Fertittas are out the business, we're going to keep those mob connections, you know?
Hey man, somebody's got to do it.
Like one day, like Dana White's going to go to like a CFFC event in like Atlantic City, and John Gotti's great grandkid's going to be fighting.
He's gonna end up in the UFC. It's gonna happen.
Like that, are you kidding me? Especially if he goes and they just see all those freaking like T-shirts and stuff of like with like his like support and stuff. And he just hops on the microphone and just says something with like an Italian accent.
Oh man,
Dana gets hooked like that, and he becomes like the next Sage Northcutt.
I say it. Give it a year or two, or give it about 2-3 years. Yeah, Gotti will be in the UFC somehow. They'll definitely make that happen.
Unless Gotti's family has beef with the Fertitta's family.
Yeah, they'll find a way to come to some civil. I don't know, some civil agreement.
Have you ever seen a mafia movie, bro?
Oh yeah, they normally don't.
John Guy's going to be putting on MMA gloves without fingertips.
Oh man, I gotta watch the actual fight though. I haven't gotten a chance to watch the fight, but yeah, I just wanted to throw out there that's the thing. John Gotti the third, he's out here apparently doing work in MMA. So yeah, keep a lookout for John Gotti the third. But yeah, that's pretty much all for today's episode. As far as upcoming, of course, UFC 217. That podcast will be awesome when that happens.
Bellator 185 or 6.
Oh Lord, who's that?
It's 186. It's Linton Vassell, Ryan Bader for the title. Illuminate McFarlane, Emily McDakote for the Dakota for the women's flyweight championship inaugural. Phil Davis versus Lyoto. Zach Freeman, the prospect killer, versus Syed Awad, and Ed Ruth versus Chris Dempsey, which is going to be on Friday.
Oh, and for anybody else who cares, PFL, aka WSOF. Ivanov, headlining.
AKA totally not a scam.
Blagoy Ivanov, headlining. Other names on the card: Lance Palmer, Steven Siler, Mike Kyle, who I didn't even know was still fighting. Yeah. So, it's a charity card.
Yeah,
in DC.
Yeah, the charity stream card that's going to be for free, which doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
We're gonna assume that the people at PFL know what they're doing. Who knows? Nobody. That's another podcast in and of itself. Just, I don't know. Who knows what's going on in PFL? Between PFL and Bellator.
Let's go to Washington, D.C. and put a Bulgarian man versus a Brazilian man as the main event. Because why the fuck not?
Right. I don't know. They know something we don't, apparently. Who knows?
Nothing.
Between them and Bellator having fights at NASCAR events or whatever they fight at, I don't know what's going on in the world anymore. But yeah. So yeah, there'll be entertaining things happening. Keep you guys busy. But yeah, UFC 217. That's definitely the big one. So really looking forward to that card. That main event, I'm pretty sure we'll leave a lot to talk about, regardless of who wins and how it goes. But
wait. When does PFL's $1 million tournament start?
Oh man, I forgot.
They're supposed to be giving out $1 million.
That was a scam too. I haven't heard one mention of that tournament.
I just looked on their website and they're like, oh, our inaugural. Oh, okay, so the season starts in 2018. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give them the year to fuck it up.
There we go. We'll hold off on calling it a scam until further notice.
Oh no, they're still a scam, but
I hope you guys get your tournament and that money they promised you and all that good stuff that was in that letter that we read some time ago.
The fucked
Oh,
up part
man.
of it is, Ali is like going to be managers for like half the fighters in every single tournament. So he's getting a cut of the percentage of $1 million. That some dumbass billionaire is going to give them.
Hey, man. I don't know. I don't know. That organization, I don't see how they're going to. I don't know.
I said that in 2014. It's not.
We did, and they're still here.
And they're still out here just like hustling millionaires. I'm not mad at them for it. I mean, it makes for a pretty interesting story. I'll give them that.
It does. That's yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they've lasted this long, but hey, more power to them. Somebody over there is doing something right, or really they're just paid so they can do whatever they want, I guess. But anywho, though, as always, you guys can listen to us on iTunes. Make sure you like and subscribe on iTunes. Leave a rating. Also on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, and you can like the Dodo Talk podcast page on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at Serial Sensei if you want to talk to me on there. So, yeah, we're everywhere. There'll be content coming. Can't emphasize enough. UFC 217 podcast is going to be awesome. I'm probably going to be heard after that podcast for various reasons, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But as always, anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, we will be there to talk about it, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.